When engaging in rideshare, choosing a spot to sit and wait for the next passenger can mean a hell of a lot more than simply missing the surge. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim with another ride-sharing video. Now, we've covered this before, the importance of picking a decent spot to sit in between trips from a safety aspect. I'll give you a story right here and we'll talk about it because it does indeed have lessons in it. This comes to you from an article titled, Massachusetts Man Robbed Uber Driver While Wearing a Court-Ordered GPS Monitoring Device, police say. Yeah, it sounds as dumb as it is stated in the article's title. And once you hear the details of the story, it will only continue to be dumb and dumber. Nevertheless, this is something us drivers face on a daily basis. This absolutely could happen to you. We get a lot of idiotic passengers, and we know drivers get robbed, carjacked, raped, you name it, all the time. Listen to the details of it. You'll hear how dumb it really gets. New Bedford. A New Bedford man is under arrest once again after police say he robbed an Uber driver while wearing a court-ordered GPS monitor from a previous case. Now, this is only half of how dumb this shit gets, because you hear the driver is being robbed by someone already wearing an ankle monitor. So clearly, letting this person out on house arrest was not the right thing to do. This guy clearly has not let go of his life of crime. Literally wearing a GPS monitored ankle device that literally tells the cops where you are at all times. So his device that is on his fucking ankle puts him at the scene of the crime. Some really dumbass people out here. I'm just going to tell you that. Some really dumbass people out here. And as a rideshare driver, dealing with strangers on every single trip, every single time, you're going to be encountering some of these folks. That's why we're talking about it. But we'll let you know how this could pertain to you no matter where you're at. This is not a unique story by any means. Any of us could face something similar, and we'll talk about ways to hopefully avoid this kind of shit. But here's the continuation of the story. According to police, the Uber driver was waiting for a fare on Cedar Street last week when he was approached by a man wearing a bandana over his face. Now, the story goes on to suggest that the criminal with the bandana on his face pulled a knife on the driver and robbed him as such. Now, we talk about carrying your defensive tools on you. What do we say? Mace or pepper spray. Something to slice or poke with up to and including a firearm if you're comfortable with it. I had somebody in one of my other comment sections suggest, well, stop telling folks to use mace or pepper spray, because it could, come back in your own face if you use it inside a vehicle. Well, damn it, I'm not talking about using mace or pepper spray in a closed environment where you could actually receive a dose of it yourself. But if somebody is trying to rob you with a knife, pepper spray is the perfect device to use if you don't want to go lethal. Listen, the wallet is in my back pocket. I got to stand up to get it out for you or whatever. And then just literally light his ass up, hit his face with the pepper spray. So this is a case right here where you might have been able to get out of this using one of the non-lethal tools. Now, I keep my pepper spray literally right in the armrest. So case like that where he's at the window, if I could get this out and flip it up pretty easy, I could actually light his ass up. So no harm, no foul. Just dry the fuck off. Nobody's going to report that one to the police, are they? So continuing on, officers were able to get video footage that allegedly identified the robber as Isaiah Poindexter, who lives right across the street from the robbery. They were able to find him with the help of the GPS monitor he was wearing. So this falls under the category, we'll politely title this as dumb as fuck. He's robbing someone with a GPS monitor across the street from the crib. It gets no dumber. Stories like this, paperwork like this, when you go back on the inside, can cause folks on the inside to beat your ass for being so dumb. They let you out on house arrest and you're back for that? I mean, sounds kind of like Brooks in Shawshank for some of you folks who are old enough to remember the movie where he wanted to go back to jail. This guy sounded like he kind of wanted to go back to jail to commit a crime like that. So how does this pertain to other drivers? First and foremost, pay attention to where you park. That is the whole moral of this story. Particularly if you're driving in a major metropolitan city, Los Angeles, Chicago, to Philadelphia, Boston areas, type like that, where it's a lot of crime, between trips, when you're on downtime, whether you're having lunch, whether you're waiting on the next trip, where you park can mean a threat to your safety if you park in the wrong location. Some of the things we've often advised here, because we've done videos like this before, when you're parked, keep your head on the swivel in regards to your surroundings. I don't believe in using the Uber and Lyft lights. A lot of folks have lights on their vehicle, advertising that it is a ride-sharing vehicle. This is okay when you're in motion, and I understand some laws, some municipalities require it. But when you're parked in between trips, I would advise turning that off, which is why I also advise, if you're going to identify your vehicle as an Uber or Lyft vehicle, use lights as opposed to stickers, because you can turn the lights off. The sticker is there because folks do tend to believe, some of these low-level ass criminals believe that Uber and Lyft drivers carry cash. They got us mistaken with taxis. During the era of taxis, they carried a bankroll. There were totally legitimate reasons to rob a taxi or a cab driver. You could actually score quite a bit of money. You're not getting that from an Uber or a Lyft driver. I mean, 99% of our passengers do not hand us any money at all. It's simply the money on you, what you brought to work. So it doesn't make as much sense to rob an Uber or Lyft driver. Nevertheless, it does happen. Every week, I'm getting stories of a driver getting robbed. So it is not infrequent or uncommon at all. But where you park, so first of all, no lights on your vehicle telling folks what you represent. Not only could it lead to you getting robbed like a case like this, you don't want folks jumping in your shit. So, and some folks do believe that if even though the car is here for someone else, I've been waiting an hour, I'll jump in it and see if I can persuade him to take me where I want to go. So if you're not taking trips, don't identify as a rideshare driver. If you have stickers up, maybe put the sticker on something and then put tape on that and then put it on your windshield so you can take it down. You just want to be able to remove all Uber and Lyft identifications from your vehicle anytime you want to. I believe you should be able to do that. I think that's in your best interest. If you're driving at night and taking a rest between trips, I would basically advise turning off the headlights. Once again, don't draw attention to yourself. Don't draw attention to the fact that you're in a car chilling. So I would turn off the lights and be cautious when using your mobile device, phones and tablets, where you're looking at the phone, the bright ass light is lighting you up, lighting the inside of the vehicle up, and it's on a dark street where everybody can see you, and the light has messed your eyes up, so you have a hard time seeing out. You light up your vehicle with a cell phone, people can see you for a block or two down the road. I just don't believe in drawing attention to yourself when you're trying to park somewhere where you don't have shit like this happens to you. Obviously, parking on drama-filled blocks, gas stations where drama regularly take place, should be avoided. If you park somewhere at a gas station or a 7-Eleven, you got motherfuckers shooting dice, things like that, where drama's liable to break out, a lot of foot traffic, bad foot traffic. I mean, you can park at a truck stop somewhere where there's a lot of movement, but there are some gas stations, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where there is bad foot traffic. Panhandlers, people begging for money. A gas station you park at, and 10 times within an hour, somebody came up to you asking you, do you have $1? Could you get the fuck away from that place? So things like that can reduce your risk when you're parked from something like this happening. I'd advise somewhere where it is well lit and people are around, but decent folks. Another clear red flag, any gas station, restaurant, 7-Eleven, where they got bulletproof every damn thing, bars up to the window, shit like that. That's a clear-cut sign that the neighborhood you're in sucks. Get the hell away from that. Find a decent place to park and you are less likely to deal with something like this. Nevertheless, let your boy know in the comments, when you're on downtime, what type of environment do you normally look for? Because you don't want to end up like this guy. Last but not least, for my full-time drivers, be exceptionally cautious of falling asleep in your vehicle. That is about as vulnerable as you can be, asleep in a car where somebody can literally walk up and look down on you while you're asleep. Be exceptionally cautious. And I know a lot of full-time drivers do take naps in their vehicles. I am a huge opponent about that. I don't see any good outcome to that. Do not fall asleep in your vehicle. But you got to do what you got to do. As always, it's your boy Tim. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. I'll see you in the next video.